Again, lucky to have you here to see us. Thank you so much for coming in.
What a treat to be here.
And Charity Summit again. I don't know how you fit it in your schedule, but it means a lot to everybody.
Well,
that
it's
you
easy.
Take the time to come.
You just put it in the middle and say, "This is what I'm doing."
You
and
plan everything else around it.
Yeah, I was over to Bangor last night, and no, it worked great.
Right.
I can't. I don't know how many in a row that we've made, but it's a lot. I think maybe all.
Well, good for you. That's quite a commitment to be here year after year, but it's a worthy cause, isn't it?
It's absolutely a worthy cause. What I like about it is the money stays right here in Maine.
Right.
Martha Weber Breast Cancer in Farmington and the Maine Cancer Foundation stays here, doesn't go anywhere, not a lot of administrative overhead. It goes right to the cause, and there's practically everybody around here has been touched by cancer.
Right.
So it's a big deal.
As long as the need is there, these kind of fundraisers will continue. And we do such a great job every year. This year, Martha and Bruce passed it on to Sadie.
Right, to Sadie, who's
born and
raised.
Yep. So
yeah.
how fitting is that?
I visited Sadie's National Honor Society class at Mount Abram.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how long ago it was, but she's all grown up.
Yeah, isn't that cool? So, looking forward to going skiing today. You're lucky we do have good conditions
yeah,
for you.
I'm hoping I'm going to get out. I'm looking forward to it, and I got some new boots, and that always helps. So I'm going to try to get out today. And now there are a couple things going on though.
Right.
That the dinner sold out, but there's a bunch of things going on. You can get a necklace that allows you to cut the line on Super Quad and I think Skyline. You can go into the Perfect Turn line. That's a good thing for 10 bucks. Is it 10 or 20?
20 or 10?
Wait a minute, I
think it might be 20.
Cut for a cure, 20 bucks.
Right.
You get preferential lines.
So you're donating $20.
You're donating $20, and you
get to cut line.
And you get to cut the
line. On a day that's going to be busy, so that might be a good thing to do.
I think there'll be a lot of people here. Let's see. Oh, a 2-year pass. A chance for a 2-year pass. That's $10 for one, 3 for $25, starting next year, not this year, next year and the year after. So you know that's money in the bank.
Right.
And then the silent auction is, I think it's 11 to 3. I want to be sure. Yeah, 11 to 3 over in the Base Lodge. But I don't want anybody to go to that because then I'll get things for cheaper.
Oh,
See,
no, that's the wrong attitude.
No, it's really great. I think there are a couple of hundred items. They're wonderful sports memorabilia from Boston and paintings and everything. It's
all kinds of things.
Oh yeah, we bought a rug last year there. It was fantastic.
And you probably didn't go in with an intention to buy a rug.
I'm afraid that may be true. No.
But that's the fun of it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Because everything there is just, it's all really nice stuff, you know. It's not,
absolutely.
Yeah. It's not a yard sale by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
And even though tonight's dinner is sold out, kind of a big social event, big weekend here at Sugarloaf.
Yep.
Will you have a chance to kick back and enjoy yourself at all, or are you
That's
on the go with a hammer down the whole time?
That's all I do here. That's why I like it so much.
Good.
It's a little you know, it's a mini vacation because I'm here and blue jeans and I don't have to think about what's going on in Washington, which is a good thing.
I can imagine. So I'll have to ask you, how are things going?
Well, it's a really kind of strange period because new president, something new every day, a new executive order. The Congress part of it hasn't really gotten going. We're working on the nominations. That's been the primary focus for the last couple of weeks, will be next week. I've been going to a lot of the hearings. I've decided to do something a little unusual. I go to the hearings even on the committees that I'm not on, to listen to the nominees. I went to Mr. Pruitt's on the environment, went to listen to Jeff Sessions at Judiciary. I watched the video of the lady that's been nominated for education because I want to hear it myself and take in what's going on. And I've spent an awful lot of time. I talked to one of the nominees at some length on Friday. You know, this is important stuff. These are the people that are going to be running the government. So that's what we're doing right now. And then we're going to start on some other things. There'll be some starting work on the budget and the Affordable Care Act, which I hope we will repair before we repeal. And so all that's going right now.
Do you see opportunities in some ways with the whole mentality of cleaning the slate and freshening things up? Do you see opportunities there to get beyond the stalemate that we've had over the past few years?
Yeah, there might be. I mean, Donald Trump is not a typical politician. That's pretty much of an understatement of the year. And he's not, he's Republican, but, you know, he was a Democrat in the 90s. I mean, he's Trump.
Right.
And he has some ideas, frankly, one of which I really like is getting cheaper prescription drugs, right, and putting some pressure on the drug companies to negotiate with Medicare. We got people don't know what's going on. I got Maddie the dog right here, and she's exploring. But we're so that's one where I hope I can work with him on, because I think that's the right thing to do. Now, his colleagues, his Republican colleagues, have always been against that.
Right.
So I think we're going to see some places where there are going to be times we can work together and times we can't.
And the blessing of you being an independent senator is that you have that freedom and that ability to go with the flow perhaps better than what some of your peers have.
It's a luxury.
Right.
I can call them as I see them, and there are going to be times when I'm with him. There's some votes coming up, I think, where I'm going to split from the Democratic caucus, and that's okay. I mean, like I say, it's a real benefit for me. And every now and then, my colleagues come up to me sort of quietly and say, "Man, you're in exactly the right place. I wish I was, you know." Right. So we'll just take them one issue at a time.
Right. And as far as the energy goes in town, is it an uptight energy in Washington, D.C. at the moment, or is there some good vibe to the energy there?
I think everybody is sort of holding their breath.
Right.
Because this guy is pretty unpredictable.
Right.
And everybody is saying, you know, how's he going to settle in? Who's he going to listen to? For example, 3 days ago he said, torture works. Day and a half later, he listens to his Secretary of Defense, who I voted for because I think he's a really good guy, who told him torture doesn't work, we're not going to do it. And Donald Trump backed off and said, I'm going to listen to General Mattis, no torture. So
there's hope.
Yeah, well, yeah, and again, one of my criteria for voting on the cabinet is who will who will he listen to and who will be sort of moderating influences. And that's why I voted for General Mattis, because he's a real grown-up. He's been around a long time, very smart guy. He has one nickname, Mad Dog Mattis, which really doesn't apply. His other nickname is the Warrior Monk, which I really love, the Warrior Monk. He's a warrior, but he's got a personal library of 9,000 books. He's incredibly well read in history. He understands the military, understands the civilian control. So
very cerebral outlook.
Very cerebral guy. So I think that one of the real questions that we're going to have to watch over the next several months is who's Mr. Trump going to listen to?
Right.
And that's going to determine a lot of how things go.
So there is our point of optimism right there.
I'm always an optimist.
We have to be. That WSKI is a glass half full place. So
Yeah,
we take the same thing to Washington, D.C. How about